Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. It's time to preview the 2019-2020 McKendree men's basketball team. We're joined by head coach Chris Foster. And Coach, last year was your first season at McKendree, a team that was on the rise, had some big victories during the year. Didn't get to the conference tournament, but you were able to accomplish some goals. Talk about having that first year in the system, implementing your system, and what was achieved last year.
Yeah, it's always tough to kind of start from the ground up and build it, but we had a great group of guys that were really committed to. I think the most important thing we did was kind of change our culture and our expectations of how we're going to go about our business and how we're going to do things. And those guys really worked really hard to get that done, and we can already see that kind of paying off with a little bit smoother of a start to this season so far.
Looking at the returning players, you had 7 lettermen back from last year. One of those lettermen actually didn't play last season. He sat out due to injury, but a big component for this Bearcat team moving forward, and that's Nate Bethel.
Yeah, Nate's been great. You know, he's such a competitor. That's his greatest attribute. And you know, he's been good. It was tough for him to sit out. And you know, what we've just been preaching to him, he's got to be patient. He hasn't played in a year, so it's going to take him a little time to get that game rhythm back and stuff like that. But he's an emotional leader. He's one of our hardest working guys, and we're thrilled to have him back out there with us.
One of your top returnees that did play last year, senior Logan Korman, a guy who transferred in last year, had a pretty solid season. He's your leading returning scorer, 12.6 points a game, and is a guy that can play inside and outside.
Yeah, and Logan's practiced really well so far. I thought he did some great things for us last year, led us, you know, particularly offensively, a lot of times being able to create and make shots. And I think he's really improved in the year. I think playing in the system for a year and having a little more comfort with that has helped him. He's able to get to his spots a little easier and do some things. So we're really looking forward to seeing his improvement, and going to need a lot of big things out of him.
And you've got some good depth returning. You've got Jacob Donaldson, Carrington Bass, Carandas Harris Anderson, Troy Petke, guys like that have been in the system, had a year to learn your system, and talk about what those guys bring to the program.
Yeah, those guys are all doing great. I think just a year and kind of understanding the expectations, knowing how we play and what we're looking to do. Those guys, Carandas has really practiced well. Jake's shooting the ball great, which was something we need out of him with his size and ability to shoot. And Troy's leadership has been good as one of a few seniors that we have. He's working his tail off and setting a great example for our younger guys. So that's the biggest thing, is we kind of try to build our tradition, is having that carryover and those guys to teach the younger guys kind of the McKendree way.
Coach, I know one of your priorities was to have a solid recruiting class. It looks like that objective was achieved. 7 new Bearcats coming into the program in 2019-2020, and you've got a good mix of transfers and freshmen. Talk about this recruiting class that you have coming in.
Yeah, we're excited, really excited. Like you said, 7 guys. We got a great mix of transfers, junior college, high school kids. Got a couple kids from overseas, and those guys have come in. A lot of them were around in the summer. Doing some stuff, so their comfort level is a little bit farther along than we maybe thought it would be. So it's been great, and those guys are working hard and still trying to figure some things out as far as how we play both ends of the floor. But we're thrilled about the recruiting class and really excited to kind of build around that young core of guys.
Not only is it a deep recruiting class, a lot of local flavor in that recruiting class. You've got 2 guys coming in from Southwestern Illinois College, and also Bryson Boltman. We talk about Luke Hensler and Oliver Stephen transferring in, but you've got 3 guys from solid high school programs here to help build this team.
Yeah, I think the high school basketball in the area is great. Always has been, and so you know, I think you start close to home and you try to build around that. And we've been very fortunate to get the 2 guys from Swick, Oliver Stephen, who's an Edwardsville kid, Luke Hensler from Oakville. We were able to get Korman last year, and then you throw in Bryce. And you know, I think that's exciting for McKendree. It's exciting for basketball in the area, for people to be able to come and watch those kids that they watched in high school. All those kids are within 45 minutes of our campus. So hopefully that really helps excite the community in the area about McKendree basketball, being able to kind of follow those guys' careers to the next level.
Coach, how has it been seeing the returning players mesh with the newcomers? Obviously, it's pretty much a balanced number of returnees and newcomers coming in, but you've had a couple weeks now on the floor. How have you seen that progress?
It's been really good. I think we got a lot of really unselfish guys. They're playing well together. And again, we had guys here in the summer working camps, and I think that really fast-tracked us from that standpoint. Them just being around and being able to spend time with each other and get to know each other was really good. And we've had a great preseason. I've been thrilled with their work ethic, their attitudes, their togetherness, and just the way they're going about their business. And so now we're excited to get started with some games.
Coach, it looks like another high-quality schedule on tap for the Bearcats this coming season. Exhibition games at Creighton University, which is coming up Friday night, as well as at Austin Peay State University in December. But you look at the GLVC GLIAC crossover that's coming to McKendree to open the season. 2 quality teams in Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan, some solid non-conference opponents, and also a little bit different look with a 20-game GLVC schedule.
Yeah, so the going to 20 games kind of changed your non-conference a little bit. I like the change. I think when you're looking at trying to compete to get into regionals, playing in the GLVC is great because you're going to play good teams every night and strength of schedule and get a chance to get some really good wins. And we wanted to continue to beef up our non-conference. We have to play those schools. You don't prepare for the GLVC by not playing a tough schedule. So we know, Northern Michigan, Michigan Tech are really good. We beat Union on a half-court buzzer beater last year. They'll be really good again. We lost at East Central. We play Lincoln again out of Missouri that we had a tough game with last year. So our returners will have some familiarity with some of the teams that we're playing, which I think will help a little bit this year. But certainly a lot of challenging games on that schedule.
Coach, obviously this is year 2 for you and your staff, your players coming in. The goal, obviously, step 1 is to try and make the conference tournament, the GLVC tournament. What do you see are the main objectives for this team? What are the keys for 2019-2020?
I think with any team, it's how you handle adversity. I think we got a talented group. I think we've added a lot of things that we needed from a skill standpoint, how we want to play and what we want to do. And I think with all teams, it's when you kind of hit that first bump in the road. How do you handle it, and how are you able to? And with a young team, that can be a challenge sometimes. We got, I think, 8 freshmen, sophomores on the roster, so we got to be able to do that. And we want to be very process driven and not be as results driven as we can tend to be sometimes, because we're all competitive and we all want to win. But our goal is to keep getting better every day and be playing our best basketball at the right time.
Coach, it's hard to believe the season's here. Thanks for joining us. Good luck this season.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Don't forget you can follow McKendree basketball as well as the rest of our programs online at www.mckbearcats.com.